This report reveals a huge problem for the Padres, as this former prospect may or may not have a spot on this team, and the Padres are concerned on what to do about him. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Padres Digest with your host, Andrew. Today we're talking about everyone's favorite catcher. Not really, but we'll talk about it. Luis Campusano. There's so much discourse around him for the past couple of years at least. And I don't think anyone really has the definitive answer of what to do with him. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. I have an article talking about Luis Campusano. I thought I could share it with you. Before we get too deep into it, though, please subscribe as always. And we've been posting some shorts for the first time, so I hope you guys like those shorts. Just little quick Padre news tidbits. So I hope you guys enjoy those. Watch those if you haven't. But yeah, let's talk about Campy. So if you don't know who Campusano is, I don't technically blame you. It just might mean you're a new fan, and that's okay. Hi, welcome to the worst possible team you could choose. Well, that's not true, but you know what I mean. Welcome to Padres. So Campusano, he was one of our former top prospects. Kind of like Ethan Salas, just not as hyped, right? But he was a name most Padre fans knew a couple of years ago, right? And he had some good moments, and then he had some real bad moments, and this year was the epitome of bad moments. And now we're kind of at the stage like, well, what are we going to do with him, right? AAA, he destroyed. He broke the record for most home runs by a AAA player for the El Paso Chihuahuas. So he's definitely a good hitter. But when he got to the major league level, horrible, stunk, terrible. I don't think he even got a hit last year. That's how bad it was. So what will the Padres do? Well, I do have this report from MLB Trade Rumors. Will Padres' former top catching prospect be on the move? And we'll talk about it. So I do have the article, but I ran it through my best friend ChatGPT to make it more digestible, I guess, for you. So I think we can just go through all of that. But Campusano's future. Preller publicly said Campusano will be in our mix next year, but their roster decisions show the opposite. Padres repeatedly blocked him with Diaz, Fermin, and Maldonado, all light-hitting vets. I don't know if I'd call Fermin a light-hitting vet. Well, he is, but not compared to them. Let's put it that way. And then Campusano wasn't trusted to catch a single inning in the MLB in 2025. Yes, he's a catcher, but he wasn't allowed to catch a single inning, which is kind of crazy low-key if you think about it, but it makes sense once we dive deeper into the information. So his roller coaster performance, 2023, legit breakout flash. Yeah, he was legit good in 2023. A lot of injuries, but he was legit good. So a 319, 356, 491 slash line in 49 games. So 319 average, 356 slug, 491 OPS, which is on base plus slug. 133 weighted runs created plus, 100 being average, of course. Elite bat for a catcher, absolutely. 12.1% strikeout rate, and he had excellent contact. Defense, though, was graded poorly at -13 fielded runs value and -17 defensive runs saved. But the bat looked legit. But, catcher is a big defensive position. Not the craziest one, right? But a big one. So if the bat is good, but the catching is not great, that's not the worst thing in the world. But you do want to improve these big negative numbers. Let's put it that way, right? And then we moved on to 2024, and that was kind of the crash. Right, so a 227, 281, 361 slash line, which compared to 2023, much worse. 83 weighted runs created plus over 91 games, so about below 20 points average of the weighted runs created plus. BABIP fell from 331 to 240, which is balls hit into play, so not including home runs and walks, only balls hitting into play. So the higher the number, the more balls you put into play. It does have a bit of luck into it, which you might also say meant he was more unlucky in 2024. But the quality of contact also declined. Exit velocity went down, barrel rate went down, hard hit rate went down, and the glove still wasn't good enough to compensate. So being a good hitter but a bad glove, normally that's allowed, right? But when you're a bad glove and not a good hitter, like, why? You're not going to be there for long. Let's put it that way. But then we move on to 2025. Dominates AAA, but still ignored. Crushed in El Paso, like we said. 25 home runs and 475 plate appearances. 336, 441, 595 slash line. 148 weighted runs created plus. Huge, even for the Pacific Coast League, which is notorious for being a hitter's paradise. Kind of like Coors Field. So basically, pretend these numbers were at Coors Field, which is where the Rockies play. And a 15.2% walk rate, 17.3% strikeout rate, which means he had elite discipline. And I can show you that too on this stuff. I think I had it right here. Yeah, look at these numbers, right? 99th percentile for basically all of these at AAA, which means you're really freaking good. It means you're really freaking good. But this is only at AAA at a hitter's paradise. That does not completely line up. But his AAA season was absurd. While we haven't seen him fully unlock his potential at the MLB level over a large sample, you have to think it'll eventually happen. Hopefully he sees flashes of his 100, we already saw that, but hopefully he can show flashes of his 2023 season. I forgot what else I had. Yeah, so this is basically him saying 52 home runs, most in Chihuahua's history. That was hit last year. So he definitely can hit for power, and he definitely can hit well in AAA. And we've established that before, but this is more for the people who are unfamiliar with him, right? So what are the Padres' choices? Was that all of them? Hold on. Oh, yeah, let me show you the MLB ones. Padres' MLB usage was bizarre. Multiple call-ups lasting only 2 to 3 days, only 6 MLB games and 14 plate appearances, 0 MLB innings at catcher despite vets struggling. 0. I feel like he had more games than 6. Maybe that might be wrong. I don't remember, but I know it was barely any. There was a time period where he was called up for, like, I swear to God, 2 to 3 weeks, and he played 0 games, had 0 at-bats, and we were like, okay, like, we felt bad for him, honestly. I felt like we all felt bad for him. It's like, why is he even here? Like, no shade whatsoever. Like, why are you even here if you're not, if, like, Mike Shildt's not going to give you at-bats? You know what I mean? Like, like, you proved everything you could at AAA, and then you brought him here, and you let him prove absolutely nothing. And again, he had 0 hits, so it's not like we didn't give him a chance, but still, like, after, what, 10 at-bats or something like that, whatever it was, like, I feel like you can't see a player's full potential after just 10 at-bats. But again, you could also say he had plenty of time last year and plenty of time in 2023 to really develop it. But you could see the regression in his overall, like, season performances, if that makes sense. So there's 2 sides to every discussion about Campusano, and you guys can let me know your opinions on that. But now, what will the Padres do with him? Option 1, keep him, make him the backup catcher or a first base DH hybrid, which I think is interesting, right? And I think if the team was the way it is right now, it's going to be Fermin as starter and then probably Campusano as the backup unless they re-sign, like, Diaz. But, like, if, like, the season started right now, we would probably have him as our backup catcher. If he's not catching, the Padres must sign a veteran, again, like Elias Diaz. Even low-end vets cost $2 to $4 million, which matters for a tight budget. And we paid Diaz, I think, like $1 million last year, something like that. Padres choices. Option 2, trade him. Rebuilding teams like the Nationals, Twins, A's, Rockies, White Sox could take a chance on him. White Sox probably not, because they have a good catcher right now. We're actually going to make a video about that, and by we, I mean me in a bit. But, I mean, those teams, yeah, if they want. I don't know if I'd call the A's necessarily rebuilding. I think they're doing better. But if the Rockies want, like, a backup behind Hunter Goodman, then I don't see why not, especially because he can hit well. If Campusano went to the Rockies, he might be the next, like, Mike Piazza or something, honestly. Return wouldn't be that big. He's a buy low, change of scenery kind of guy. Now that I said that, though, please don't trade him to the Rockies. I don't want to face him every year for multiple times, but you know what? If we can get something good out of it, fine, right? And then option 3, tender, then waive. If he clears waivers, San Diego keeps him as depth, but with 3 years of team control, he might not clear. Put him on waivers means, like, hey, guys, if you want him, take him. And if no one takes him, the Padres can keep him. But because he has 3 years left of control, they might take him. So that's a big risk. But again, we're at the point now where it's kind of like you have, I know it said 3 options, but you have 2 options, right? Use him or get rid of him. There's no reason to put him back in AAA. He can't because he's out of options. But there's no reason why you should keep him in AAA. He's done everything you can there. You either have to use him or get rid of him. There's nothing else. It's like that episode of Parks and Rec when Ron Swanson's like, when you're fishing, there's 2 things you can do with it. Keep it or don't forget the real... Oh, God, I forgot the quote. Basically, my point being is that you either keep him or you let him go. You let him loose. There's no point in dragging him behind the boat. Just keep him or let him loose. That's what I was trying to say. I can't even quote Parks and Rec now. What is my life going to? But yeah, where were we? The big picture. Preller says Campusano is part of the future. The organization actions this year say otherwise. No catching reps, minimal MLB at-bats, and multiple pointless call-ups. Padres need to pick a lane, commit to him as a catcher, or move on and get value while they can. Which, honestly, there's not much value there. There's not. And it sucks, right? He was hyped. There's potential. We were excited about him. I don't think it's going to go well for him. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's how I feel. Let me know how you guys feel. Do you think we should keep him? Do you think we should get rid of him? Do you want him at first base or a DH? Or do you want to try him back at catcher? Maybe this offseason he locked in and practiced more catching. I hope so. He is playing in the Dominican League, I think, or some kind of winter ball. I'm not exactly sure what. I saw it, but I forgot to bring it up. But he's playing some kind of winter ball, which hopefully will improve. Also, please apply if you'd like. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Please subscribe. Go watch some shorts, and go Padres. Forgot my own catchphrase. But goodbye. Goodbye.